Ah yes, another tournament, this time Tier 8 on Ruinberg. Ruinberg? What? Ruinberg? We normally play these things on Mittengard, like the tiniest map in the game, which is perfect. This time we're on Ruinberg. Ruinberg's a little bit bigger, but whatever. We're going to try to win ourselves 500 gold, which is what we get for first place here on the North American server. So let's see what we can do. So I decided to bring the 110. Not a big surprise. I brought that to most of my other Tier 8 heavy tournaments. It's, I would say, an equal choice, in my opinion, to the IS-3. That being said, this first guy's brought an ISU 152. That thing has 750 average damage gun. If it hurts us, it will be nasty. He could kill us in 2 shots if he rolls 50 damage high. We have 1,550 health points, so we have 50 more than an IS-3 would. The big differences between this and the IS-3 is this thing has better angled frontal armor. So its frontal armor, if you point it directly at the enemy, is a little more effective. It does not have thick side skirts like the IS-3 does, so you're not going to be doing any of that famous side scraping that the IS-3 is well known for. And this thing's gun does 320 average damage, but it fires faster and it will actually do about 200 damage more every minute if it's allowed to. So we need to make sure that we put more shots into these IS-3s than they put into us. It's going to take us 5 shots to kill them, probably 4 to kill us. So we do need to be a bit careful there. But as long as we are a little bit aggressive, then we can work with that. The biggest issue that I'm going to have with this thing is if the IS-3 decides to face hug me, he's going to be able to shoot my hatches on top of my turret, and I'm not tall enough to be able to shoot the hatches on top of his or into those weak spots up there, and my gun depression sucks too much to be able to hit his hull. So all I'm going to be able to shoot at is the very front of his turret, the toughest part of his tank, and it's basically all over if I allow that to happen. So at this point in the game, me being stupid, I haven't even realized this is attack defense yet. I haven't looked at the map. I apparently didn't look at the description that I showed you guys here at the beginning of the video saying attack defense mode. I just saw, hey, Tier 8 heavy tank, sure. Let's bring that. So it's not till right about now that I realize, wait, this is attack defense. There's 2 bases for the enemy to capture, or sorry, for me to capture, and none for the enemy to capture of mine. So I need to be aggressive. I was going to sit in the back, wait for them to make the move. I can't do that. So now we need to move onwards. And these games are relatively short here. There's only 3 minutes left already. So let's see if we can go find this guy. Now, him in the 152 being a tank destroyer, if I can get behind him, it's pretty much game over for him. So let's see if we can track him down. I am scared of him a little bit. If he gets the first shot off at me, and I can't get to cover, return fire, then I'm in potentially big trouble. And there he is. Wasn't really expecting to see him there. I think he was getting impatient too and came on out for the hunt. He bounces his first shot off of me. I pointed my front directly to him so that he would bounce, and now it's just a game of get beside him and stay there. And at this point it's pretty much all over, and this is when we get to use our higher DPM than say an IS-3 would have and just tear him apart. Not that we really need the super high DPM at all when we're in this kind of situation, but poor guy. I almost felt bad for that one. Almost. And then next up in our next battle, we're actually facing an IS-3. So, like I said, we have 50 more health points than him, but it's going to take him 4 shots to kill us and 5 for us to kill him. That's penetrating shots. So, of course we're going to load premium rounds for this. I mean, it's an IS-3. They're pretty well armored for their tier. So let's go see what we can do. So seeing as he spawns up in the top right corner of the map, I'm going to assume that he's going to go towards the northern flank first. That's what I would do. I would not take the heavy tank across the field. Maybe he would do that. Maybe he would be either silly enough or smart enough to do that, expecting that I wouldn't do it myself, and that I would be there to counter it. Luckily, if he does, well, he's not capturing, but if I start capturing one, then it'll tell him on the capture bar which base it is. Which, before this tournament, I actually didn't even know it said that. So, oops. I don't know if it didn't say that at first, and I just, or maybe I'm just stupid. I'm probably just stupid. That's probably what's going on here. But let's look through this little window here, see if we can spot him. I want to find him. I cannot let him catch me by surprise. That's the biggest thing I need to make sure I do in all of these tournaments. All these 1v1s, do not be caught by surprise. Make sure you know where he's coming from. Make sure you are ready for him. So you'll see me looking around a lot, trying to prepare. Chances are we're going to spot each other at the same time. But if he's hiding in those bushes back there, for example, then he might spot me first. And what I'm doing right now, because I do have 6th Sense, I do have a decent crew in this, I think I'll show you this in a second. What happens is that if he spots me, but I don't spot him, I'll still know it. 3 seconds later, I'll know it when 6th Sense gets activated, but I will know that he spotted me. So I'm using that essentially to spot him. And now I'm getting the cap. I don't ever try to win these games by capping. Not in these tournaments like this, not in the 1v1s. I've never seen it work out well for another player when they try to cap against me, so what I'm going to do instead is just try to use it to draw him over here. I want to be like, hey, I'm over here, come find me. I don't really want to sit here the whole time and wait for a draw. That's boring. It might happen, and if it happens, it happens, but that's no fun for anybody. Not for you guys watching, not for me playing, not for the other guy. I just want to win, get myself some gold, and move on. Alright, so now I'm thinking maybe he's sneaking around back. That's what I would do. I would take the least likely route to the enemy to try to catch them by surprise. Hopefully I can catch them looking the other direction with just the big juicy bum hanging out for me to shoot at. Alright, no sign of him though. Let's make sure we look down here. He might be coming down that road. Just in time for him to shoot at our side, so we need to be careful when we cross any kind of path like that. Now here, I'm going to check over here. I'm trying to proxy spot. I'm thinking that if he's hiding in that corner at A3, and he's been hiding there the whole time for some strange reason, then that would hopefully spot him. And it's unlikely that he is. If I were him, I would have peeked out when I started capturing the base there, but it is what it is. And time is starting to run out. Not there. We're capping again. I'm trying to draw him out. I'm expecting him to come around this corner, but I'm keeping an eye on the map. If he disappears behind me, I'm going to floor it, get behind this building. And if he appears on my right, then hopefully I'll proxy spot him before he has a line of fire on me. Now it's just a waiting game. Will he appear? I mean, I'm sure he's going to appear. The question is kind of where is he going to appear from? He has lots of time to get here. Where are you? Where are you? Unfortunately, these 1v1s aren't always the most exciting, especially when you're stuck waiting like 8 minutes between each game when one of your opponents don't show up for the tournament, but hey, there he is. Alright, he's going to shoot us. We're going to shoot him in return. We blew his track off. He blew ours off. We used our repair kit. Let's get going. Let's get up to him. Let's see if we can blow his track off again. Keep him pinned there. Oh, I think that one missed his track slightly. It's alright, he's letting us get up to him. I want to get closer to him so that he's easier for us to aim at. But I don't want to get too close, because if he does face hug us, then we are in big trouble. Alright, what's he going to do? Just got to make sure I shoot the flattest part of his front that I can if I'm going to shoot at his front. Otherwise, I can shoot at the side, but I have to make sure I shoot below spaced armor. And there we go. Just like that. No problem. He shot us 4 times, only one of them actually hurt us. Not a problem at all. Alright, now this time, we are defending. Alright. I was not expecting this. I didn't really have a plan, so it's kind of like, right now, make up a plan and do something. Usually when you make plans last second, it doesn't work out that well, but we're gonna try to make the most of it. So I decided that, since what I've done other times is kind of hesitate and kind of take my time making my way to the first cap here that I'm heading towards now, that I'm going to go straight there and try to set up an ambush. Unfortunately, he did not hesitate to go to the first cap like I did. In this shot, unfortunately it bounces. Luckily he bounces us off of us, but he did damage our gun, so we forfeited our repair kit there. I wanted to make sure I could actually hit him. If I can't hit him, then, I mean, I don't stand a chance anyway. Now he's here, so we're still pretty much even. Put a shot into him, aim for that plate. I feel like that hit exactly where I wanted it to, but it bounced, which is really terrible. Now here he comes. One into him there. He's putting it into our lower plate. He knows how to fight these things. And now all I can shoot. See, I can't get my gun down any lower than that. I'm trying to find a weak spot somewhere. There is one somewhere. I don't know where it is. And I kept backing up as he backed up there, so he got another shot at our lower plate. He hit our gun. Where did he hit us? Trying to hit the stuff on top of his roof, but he did not allow it. Another hit to us, and again, face hugging, trying to find a flat spot or something that I can get through, but there's just really nothing I can do. Trying to reverse and get a shot into his frontal plate. Managed to get a shot into him, and he bounced. We have a chance. Oh, I've let him back up too far. No, I'm making a mistake. He's going to shoot our lower plate, and it's all over. That was a high explosive round anyway, so even if he had hit us in the toughest part on the front of our tank, it probably would have still killed us anyway. And at last second there, I also did notice that he has 3 marks on his gun barrel, so he is obviously a very good player in that tank, so kudos to him. And next up, we are facing, surprise, another IS-3. I think this is going to be a trend that's probably going to continue throughout this tournament. I kind of expected that. I mean, it is a map that has a lot of city in it, and you can bring a heavy tank, so why not bring an IS-3? Seems to be the best choice, right? Well, I decided otherwise. I have an IS-3, but I decided to bring a 110. I don't think it's a bad choice. I just think I have to be able to outthink the opponents a little more this way. Unfortunately, when you come across a player like we had in the last battle there, that is a really smart player and knows exactly how to fight these things, then it can be tough. But I feel that more players know how to fight an IS-3 than they know how to fight a 110, because an IS-3 is so much more common, and I feel like pretty much everybody who has a tier 8 has an IS-3. It's not exactly true, but that's what it feels like. So now we're just going to be patient. Sort of patient. I'm impatient, but we're going to take a second here and hope that maybe this IS-3 is going to come down this road like the last guy did. I'm being more cautious now. I've learned from my mistake. Hopefully I'm not being too cautious, but it looks like not, because now I'm going to push across this opening. Oh, and there he is. Oh, crap. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Let's take a shot at him. Maybe it'll penetrate. Hey, it did! And I'm forcing him now to shoot through that little bit of cover in the middle of the cap circle. That might have decreased the penetration value of his shell a little bit, just enough to maybe give it a better chance of bouncing. What is he doing? Is he pushing around this corner? No, he's not. He was thinking about it, but then he saw me looking, I think. He did not want to give me a free shot at his side. I have accepted that I'm going to take this hit. Luckily it bounces. And now I want to get around to his side. No, changed my mind. I decided, you know what? He's going to be reloaded soon. Let's mess up a shot. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I put that into his thick side skirts. That's never going to penetrate. Not at that kind of angle anyway. I was aiming for his frontal plate. The corner of it, but I missed. Put that one into him. And now I'm doing something kind of silly. I'm giving him my butt. Why? Because I think he's trying to face hug me. And what I don't want him to do is to be able to... What was that shot? I don't want him to be able to face hug me. Shoot my turret? No, he didn't shoot my turret. If I can keep ahead of him and not let him do that, then I have a chance here. I'm trying to keep distance between me and him when I want to. Now this is the last shot. If I miss this shot, he's going to kill me with the next one, so I need to make sure it pays off. And just barely missed the side skirt on that shot and managed to put it into his frontal hull. Perfect. That worked out pretty much as I planned. That was risky. I wouldn't have tried that against a really good player. I saw statistically that he wasn't a super strong player at all, and decided to give that a go, and it was a gamble. It worked, but it was a gamble. One other thing I've done before in these 1v1s is if I'm being face-tugged by an IS-3 and I have a piece of, like, I don't know, rubble of a building that I had near me there, or a car, or some kind of thing that I can wedge the back of my tank up against, lift the back of my tank up, then I can use that to lower the front of my tank, essentially, and give myself more gun depression, which I've used that to defeat enemies a lot. And I just push them forward a little bit, or try to if I have the engine power, and force them to shoot at my frontal plate, which is very well angled. Now this guy, though, in this battle, he is brought on AMX 5100. So at the time going to this battle, I know, because it's an autoloader, I know that, therefore, if I can get close to him, and he unloads all of his shells, and he manages to miss or bounce a couple, that he won't be able to kill me until he reloads his second shell, his second magazine, and by then, I should be able to have him dead, hopefully. So, I don't know, however, off the top of my head, at this point, how many shells he has in his magazine, or how much damage they do exactly. So that's kind of a complication. I don't know how many shells I need to bounce or avoid being hit by before he can no longer kill me with a magazine. So I'm just going to go in with the assumption right off the beginning, as soon as I see him, that if I can bounce maybe two or three, then I should be easily safe. So let's see if that plan will work out for me. So again, I'm being cautious. I'm worried this guy's going to be right there where the IS-3 was for some reason. It's 5100. If I were him, I would probably be more tempted to work the field. Oh, and speaking of which, well, he's not in this cap circle. He's in base 2. So we're going to head over there. I decided, okay, let's go do that. And he got out, and I'm like, wait, he's trying to draw me in. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not just rush in there. If he is in the field, which apparently he has been, then I don't want to play on his terms. I want to play on my terms. Need to catch him off guard and not let him have an advantage. So now that I know he's over there, I'm slowly making my way there. I'm hoping that I can run into him here, catch him by surprise earlier on. I just need to make sure, more or less, that he doesn't catch me by surprise. In a fair fight, I have a chance. If I'm caught off guard, I do not. Alright, now he's capping again. What am I going to do? Looks like I'm going to take the long way around. I didn't want to take that shortcut through the kind of the middle of the map there, my last left up there, because I didn't want him to be able to spot me if he is somehow managing to find a way to look down that middle road. I don't think he can while he caps, but actually I'm quite sure he can't. But being flustered by the tournament, don't always think straight. So now let's head towards him. Let's see what we can find. We still have lots of time to get there. That was one of my big worries when I started heading there this long direction. Is, oh no, am I going to have enough time to do this? Well, let's find out. Clearly I did. He's only half captured and I've made it over halfway across the map now. Where is he? Will he be looking the other direction? Will he be looking at me? What will he be expecting? If I wasn't spotting my enemy for this long, I would be getting quite worried about where he's going to come from. There he is. Put a shot into him. Reset. He can no longer cap in the time provided, even if he were to somehow be able to avoid the rest of my shots. And this shot right here, I hurt the building. Great job. So far, he's fired 3 shots, only hurt me with 1. So I'm feeling pretty safe now. There's his 4th shot. He missed that up too. His 5th shot. And a 6th shot. Looks like that's how many shells he has in his magazine. And now it's time for us to just pick him apart. I need to stop him though. I should have tracked him. I really should have tracked him. Because now I've let a faster tank take me... What? How did that one hit? Oh well. Oh well. Now I've let a faster tank play a ring around the rosy with me here, so this could be quite tricky. Can I trick him into coming around this corner? Nope, not quite. Alright, so he's not completely stupid. There's only 15 seconds left in this game. Can I get another shot on him in time? Come on, 8 seconds, and... Yes! I forced him to reverse there, and just before the game ended, managed to pull off a victory. That was a close one. Alright, now we have another game against an IS-3. Not really surprised, this guy looks like he's a pretty good player. Let's see if that's actually true. Let's see if the stats line up with his actual play. Alright, so again, I'm defending. So let's move up to this cap. I'm still going to take this back road in. I don't like what the first guy that beat me did against this, but let's see what happens. Let's take the back way. Be sneaky. I'm going to stop here briefly at this corner, see if we can see him. Just in case he is coming down this back road. No, okay, I'm not stopping. I am brave now. I'm done with this. I want to get this victory. Taking no prisoners, I say as I pull off to this corner to be cautious. Alright, I don't see him. Sixth Sense has not gone off, so he doesn't see me. Sixth Sense in these tournaments is so important. I really hope that in pretty much every crew that you train, Sixth Sense is the first. Where is he now? I'm really paranoid now that I've been attacking, that he's going to be hiding back in those bushes by that building that I have been sitting in, waiting for someone. So I do need to be extra careful, and that's making me almost paranoid. I have always had in the back of my mind too that spot at A3 to my left right there that he could be hiding. I've seen people do it in random battles. I haven't seen people hide there in tournaments too much. But then again, I haven't had many tournaments on Ruinberg. Oh, what? I'm spotted? Where? Who? From? Where? And I'm thinking, is he over A3? Is he looking through that bush? There is a bush there right at that corner. He could be spotting me through that bush and not have fired for whatever reason. Where is he? He must be out in the field. He must have spotted me when I poked my corner around or something. Wait, what? Confused. He was in the town. Alright, that was kind of unexpected. Put a shot into him in return. We cannot reload him. It's been too long since he fired. So let's see if we can get into cover. Force him to shoot at our front, but he's not going to let us traverse the way around. He's not that nice. He's not going to let us have an easy victory. And now, oh, is he going to come face hug us? I hope not. I want to keep some distance. Put it to his lower plate. Should have probably put that through his track. Don't get closer to him. He's going to face hug you, you idiot. Oh no, what am I doing? Put that through his upper plate. Alright, now I need to put one more shot into him. Is he going to let me do it? He needs one more shot to kill me. I need one more to kill him. Now he's face hugging me. I've got nothing to shoot. Oh no. Try to get my gun down lower, but this is as low as it goes. And as soon as I zoom out to try to get a better perspective, he slams on the brakes, kicks it in reverse, and, well, shoots me before I can react to it. So, dang. If I had still been in sniper mode, maybe I could have reacted fast enough for that one, but unfortunately, he beat us. Luckily for us, though, we still had enough points throughout this tournament to actually tie for first place. And because I tied for first place, it goes to the first place goes to the player that won in their 1v1. So the guy tied with me in first, because I beat him in a previous game, I get the first prize, the first place prize of 500 gold, and he gets second place of, I believe it's 400 gold. So that tournament was a little bit trickier for me. Ruinberg didn't help, and IS-3s are never easy to fight against. Should I bring my IS-3? Maybe. But I think I'm going to stick with my 110 for now, because I do like that vehicle. I don't mind a bit of a challenge, and if I do lose out on a little bit of gold, then it's not a huge deal. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I've got a couple more tournaments coming up for you guys to watch in the next week or so, so I will see you for those ones. Bye-bye.